Hey everyone. Tonight, I'm sharing a real spine-chilling story from Reddit. If you love horror, hit subscribe for more terrifying tales. Now, let's dive in. Don't watch this alone. I'm not gonna add lots of really specific details here because I feel like if I do, someone will figure out I wrote this, but I am a junior in high school, 17F, and my dad's friends had a small meetup some time back, and one of his friends was there. At the beginning of the party, he was acting fairly normal, and I didn't think much of him. Then he started touching and caressing my knee whenever we sat down in a very uncomfortable way. He'd even be so bold as to caress my thigh sometimes. Sometimes he'd just do this randomly, but other times he'd do this and start talking to me, getting real up close to my face with really long and uncomfortable eye contact. I felt a little concerned, especially because he kept asking me about what I do in my free time and whether I liked any boys and what me and my friends talk about. This isolated wouldn't seem too weird to me, but it was combined with everything else that made me feel really weirded out. He talked to me not like I was his friend's daughter, but like I was his friend. One time I remember getting up to get some lemonade. All the adults were in a separate room, and he'd come right behind me and caress my back and ask more about my life with, again, really fucking uncomfortable closeness and eye contact. Whenever I sat down, he'd make extra sure he was near me. Another time, he just sat next to me and slung his arm over my shoulders and kept asking me stuff, which I awkwardly but very politely responded to. And while this was happening, he said, "I think I should spend more time with you, just you and me," with a horrible smile. That smile irked me so horribly I felt like running. When we were leaving, he was the only adult who hugged me, and he hugged me for a long time. He specifically put his arms around my waist and gripped it really tightly, which I have been told is an extremely intimate way to hug, but I could be overblowing it. After he hugged me several times, he asked me when I could see him next, and how he really wanted to see me again. I told him I was unsure. Then, out of nowhere, he started helping my mom and dad with bringing their stuff to the car, which was extremely unnecessary since we only had a few bags, which we could definitely carry ourselves. But we didn't say anything, he continued, getting touchy-feely with me until we made it to the car, where he insisted another hug and I gave it to him. After which he said, "Please come again sometime. Please," really insistently, to which I said I would see if I could. To a normal person, he just seems like a really friendly and genuine guy, but I have a really bad gut feeling about him. The worst part is my dad witnessed most of this, but he said nothing. He continued like normal. I thought maybe at least after the party he'd blow up or tell me to never be alone with that guy, ever. But he just said nothing, which makes me feel like I might be overreacting. I'm not sure. I need some assurance or maybe clarity about what this exactly is. If he really does turn out to be a creep, it's absolutely sickening because apparently he's known and held me as a baby, which is a disgusting thought in my mind. I don't know. Any thoughts? Update. Okay, so this got quite a bit of attention out of nowhere, but I just wanted to clear a few things. By the way, this was intended as a throwaway account, so if one day I suddenly go inactive, it's because I don't see a point to keeping the account any longer. Anyways, I'll be referring to my dad's friend as the creep, since I can firmly establish that he's creepy now. First off, I just wanted to say thank you so much for the sweet comments concerned about my well-being and wishing the best for me. It really means so much more than you guys could ever know. And I wholeheartedly appreciate the care you guys put into the advice and comments you've shared. You guys are awesome. 3. Secondly, I want to address the amount of concern for me in these comments because to a certain extent I feel like people think this event has traumatized me. And I would like to clarify. I am in absolutely no emotional or physical distress over this. Of course, this event disturbed me and made me want to avoid the creep. But I would never let my life be demolished over a man who's balding NGL. This isn't to shame or downgrade the experiences of people who have been traumatized by stuff like this or worse than this, because I have seen the terrible impact it can have and how seriously it can fuck you up. I guess I should have been more careful with my wording. I was uncomfortable, yes, but I was also mostly annoyed at it. It wasn't like I was scared, I just felt awkward about it. It wasn't much better. But I'm not in as terrible of a state as you guys think I am. I just wanted everyone to know I am doing fine. College applications and graduation stresses me out more and takes up more of my time and headspace than this event. Lay meo. So don't feel too bad for me, because my life is pretty good, Adem. I don't see the creep that much at all, and even when I do, it's in large public areas where friends and family are around, so I don't feel suffocated or controlled or helpless around him. And I guess I should have clarified this, but I did try to make attempts to shrug him off, and he did retreat back a lot of those times, only for him to do it again. Crazy. I feel like people think I just let myself be a sitting duck LMAO, and it's my fault for that. I apologize, but I will be more vocal with my discomfort next time. Thank you guys. Thirdly, to everyone telling me to inform my parents, which are basically all the comments LMAO, I appreciate the advice and I know where you're coming from. People in this situation, people should tell their parents, but me telling my parents would probably do nothing. The thing with my parents is, they are very, I guess you could say, emotionally unintelligent. They won't be able to understand what exactly or how exactly the creep's actions make me uncomfortable. I could try explaining, but that is a long, tedious process, and it could just lead to a big fight in the end, with everyone hating each other. So I've decided against it unless I see a change in them, which I highly doubt is going to happen. But you guys are right. If not my parents, I should at least tell a trusted adult. I just need to figure out who, and you guys can be rest assured I will tell a trusted adult. Fourthly, everyone calling my dad out and saying he enabled the creep to do it. I know where you guys are coming from again, and I even agree with this to a certain level about why he didn't even say a thing. Most fathers would freak the fuck out. Sadly though, my father is not most fathers. Not to say he's an awful father, he's just not the best. As I said, my parents are very emotionally unintelligent. I'm not sure how both of them are this way, but it's the cards I've been dealt and I have to sort of deal with it. So I'm pretty sure when my dad saw this happening, he misinterpreted the entire situation, or maybe he just didn't understand that this was highly inappropriate. However, my dad does get mad at shit like this when he recognizes it. One time when another creep was sniffing and playing with my hair on a subway, I'm pretty sure that guy was mentally not sound. My dad pushed him and stomped on his foot pretty aggressively. My dad's a pretty big dude, so the guy got scared, crapless. So I know he doesn't enable it, and I highly doubt he'd let it slide just 'cause the creep's a friend. They don't even talk to each other until they meet up, which is like once or twice a year. So I'm pretty sure of this theory of mine. I think he just didn't recognize a more subtle form of creepiness, or played it off because he thinks his friend wouldn't do that. A lot of people in the comments have shared this theory as well, and I highly agree with it, knowing my dad. A second theory is coming from the fact that my dad is a very strict disciplinarian, and he didn't want to cause a scene at the party or in front of me, because he doesn't want to be seen as emotional or aggressive. He's had a complicated past of anger issues and is trying to learn how to control it. So I'm pretty sure he wouldn't want to lose his head, and in turn, lose all his progress of trying to not let the anger control him. But I'm pretty sure if he recognized what was wrong with it, he would have talked about it with my mom privately. I don't want to talk about it with my dad or mom, because I know they both don't know how to handle it or talk about it well. So, it's better if they figure their own shit out and just keep a secretive protection protocol or whatever on me whenever this happens. As for why my mom said nothing, well, she wasn't around me for most of the night. She was busy talking with her friends, so I'm pretty sure she didn't notice either. I know this may be a biased opinion from a young, naive teenage girl, but I think it's most probably likely. Fifthly, I'm going to go to college next year, so I'm probably going to meet the creep like once again in the entire rest of my life, and I can protect myself pretty nicely, especially when there are people around. I will try to be more vocal about him trying to touch me, or feel me now, whenever he does it, of course. Thank you guys for telling me that. I don't want to think about this night for the rest of my life like it was a scar on my psyche, because, in honest truth, regardless of the creep's weird-ass behavior, I had a lot of fun with my siblings and cousins that night, and I don't want to taint that fun with whatever that guy has going on. I'm gonna go to college pretty soon, and I want to be able to leave all this shiz behind. I want to be a new, better person with new friends and new experiences, but still have a little bit of the old me with me. So I can honestly say life's got bigger plans for me than this, and I'm not gonna let it drag me down. Again, thank you all so much for the supportive comments and the sweet things you've said to encourage me. I appreciate it so much. 3. More than you guys could ever know. And to everyone, keep going. Sincerely, have a lovely rest of your lives. Because I'm pretty sure after this there's no real point in updating LMAO. If there is something really urgently relevant, then I might update, but until then, see ya. Thank you so much for staying with me till the end. If you enjoyed this story and it sent shivers down your spine, please give this video a like. Your support means the world to me, and it helps me bring more stories like this to you. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button and turn on the notification bell so you don't miss out on the next chilling tale. Your subscription inspires me to create better and scarier content just for you. Until next time, stay safe, stay curious, and don't forget to watch your back. See you soon.